Hi everybody, Catfish Jones here. It is time once again for a little bit of car talk. When last we spoke, I had warned that maybe I'd do this on Tuesdays and Thursdays. And then Tuesday ended up being a holiday, and I didn't end up doing it. So, here we are on a Thursday in the new year. Gonna have us some car talk. And who knows what subjects we will brave on this short adventure from work to home. Somehow, I don't even know if I was all the way over being sick last time, but I have come down again with another little bit of the bad gunky. And boy, am I feeling it today. I was really feeling it. Feeling it so much that if I had the option, I probably would have just called in. But I don't really have the option right now. I need to power through. In an emergency scenario, I could theoretically take a sick day, but where we're at right now, it's best if I just power on through, as long as I'm not infecting the whole world with bad gunky. And really, if I'm not making out with everybody, I should be fine. I know that's tough for me not to do, but man, I tell you what, these days, they're getting longer, but they can't get long enough. How do you like that? Now that is a lighting scheme. Try to hide out with my eyeballs in the shade and shadow. I do wish this camera program had an option to flip around, because I would love to show you that. You know, it's interesting, I'm seeing a bit of shake and quiver. I'm not a big fan of that. I don't know if I was getting that down by the dials. Oh well. We're going to take it for what it is. Saw Mark Fun Jones doing a little bit of Road Rage Live. I didn't get to chime in, but I peeked at it for a little bit. I saw old Dave Hughes doing the RTR Roundup, little Rubber Tramp Rendezvous. All kinds of great drama there, which, you know, Dave, he is fueled by drama. I'm not so much fueled by drama. I'm just fueled by food and water and sleep. Oh, goodness gracious. I gotta pay a little close attention here, because this is the roundabout. If you guys saw my recent video, Roundabout Carousel, you can put yourself in the driver's seat and see this little bit of a view, but it does go round and round and round. And if you did not see that video, it was just basically me going up one of these roundabouts on-ramp style, and then instead of merging onto the highway, I just stayed in the off lane and got off on the other roundabout, which then spat me out to going on to the on-ramp the other direction and back down. I did that circuit a couple of times. A lot of fun. Interestingly enough, my grandparents are of an age where their very small Kansas town got a little bit of a roundabout when they were young, and that was literally how they passed the time, was up and down and up and down, round and round. There's a little bit more to do here in this town, but very little. Very little indeed, but there's plenty to keep me busy. It's interesting because it is a tiny little town, 50,000 people or so. Isn't the tiniest. I've lived in smaller towns, I've lived in larger towns, but it is by no means a city, much less some type of metropolis or megalopolis. It's just a town. conveniently located on I-70 and I-135 which some of you that are on the road often know that Interstate 35 comes up through Texas, and it gets to, I think, about Wichita and heads east a little bit. But the part that keeps going north up into Nebraska and maybe all the way into South Dakota, or maybe it stops at I-80 at York, that little jaunt that continues north is called 135. And here we are on Interstate 70 and Interstate 135 at that junction there. Had to do some Googling, looking for a location. I typed in I-70 Salina. The name of my town is Salina. I'm from Carolina. And somehow it gave me Salina, Utah. I said, what? There's a Salina, Utah on I-70? Looked at the map, followed it along. Dadgum if there isn't. It's a small world, one might think, until you get behind the wheel and find out that it is quite large. Many miles between here and there. Not sure that it could be tackled in 1, 2, or 3 days, but it's something. I'm sure people drive it. I'm sure people, whether they're truckers or whether they're YouTube RVers, find themselves on I-70, hit Salina, Kansas, keep on going west, get through Denver, get through all those others, make it to Utah, right about Highway 89, they find themselves in Salina, Utah. Salina to Salina, it's no Route 66, but it is something worth talking about right here on the Car Talk with Catfish. I thought the Dave Hughes today was quite interesting with the RDR drama. Whoop, that's a fuel light right there. And luckily, fuel prices are very pleasant. So that ding is not a bad ding. That ding is just like, hey, get them while they're hot. See a front coming in, and it's just gorgeous when you have this much sky in front of you and half of it's blue, and then there is a very stark line, and right now the sun is just hitting it and lighting up the line, and then under that line is a little bit of light gray. I'm sure an overcast to the south of us. Who knows if that's going to bring any weather this way or what will happen. I haven't actually looked at the forecast coming up. We'll have to see. We will have to see. But I really enjoy being able to see the front, from horizon to horizon. Being able to identify that as a piece of weather possibly coming this way. Ponder, where is that line actually geographically over? Is that still over somewhere in Kansas to the south of me here? Is it over some piece of northern Oklahoma and I'm just seeing it? How high in the atmosphere do those clouds rest? Very interesting, and I might find myself on a bit of weather map later trying to figure that out. Very recently I was tagged by our very good friend Wisconsin Greg, who himself was tagged to, kind of shout out a few channels, 3 channels that have less than 1,000 subs, and those channels then would shout out another 3 with less than 1,000. And I found myself in his shout out. Very honored. Very honored. A number of viewers who watch Wisconsin Greg made their way over to my channel, and I do appreciate all of them stopping by. I'm glad I get a little bit of Car Talk content for them today. And my video, kind of shouting out the few that I've identified might need a helping hand, might deserve a shout out, will be upcoming in the near future. I'm not sure exactly where or when or how, but I would say before the end of the weekend, I will have a little bit of shout out tag, little hashtag you're it, and see what happens there. So keep an eye out for that. I'd really like to do a live stream, but I've been concentrating on this record, and my practicing of a whole set has kind of taken a back seat, so I need to get really brushed up, at least with a full set of music to be able to share with y'all when that's an option. And as one does, I'm planning ahead a little bit for the summertime. I know it's so cold right now, but the summertime will be here soon, and if you want to do something cool, you kind of have to plan it. And so I have some fun plans coming up between now and then, and mid-July, late July, something like that. Probably a bit of a meetup with some YouTubers that are somewhat local here, and maybe we'll get some non-locals to come on up and see what's going on here too. So look out for some announcement of those kind of things, a little bit of a shout-out video. Always more CFJ vlogs. Every other week I'm doing a Catfish covers, and days that begin with a T, I'm going to try to do some car talk. Until I see you guys again, be well, and we will look for you very soon. Cheers.